First slide. You know, how to recognize a lay person? According to this picture, there are two types of people in the church. One is clergy, the other is a laity. And a clergy is an ordained person, and of course, a lay person is an ordinary people or ordinary person. How can you distinguish the two of them? Kapag ka daw nagsabi, shall we go out on a Saturday night? Ano yun? Clergy or laity? Sabi nila laity, pero di nila alam mas gala ang mga pare. I'm sorry, I have to stay in work on a 15-minute speech based loosely on the Bible. Kapag ka daw, going about their business in an everyday fashion, without any particular distinguishing features, it could be a lay person. Yung naka-civilian clothes. Pero look at me now. I'm also wearing a civilian clothes. So that means I am a lay person. So you could not even tell. Gone are the days that priests are required to wear cassock from morning till nighttime. In the United States of America, wearing a patterned cassock almost certainly a lay person. Kasi yung mga nagsiserve si altar, nagsusuta na sila, at karaniwan may mga burda. That is a lay person. But for a priest, it is always a plain black or white cassock. And they say, those who are making non-liturgical gestures, peace be with you, peace, peace. O mga ganyan, those are lay persons. But we cannot tell, because I know some priests who even do different things in the Mass. Naglalaro, gumagawa ng mga non-liturgical gestures. Now, how would you know a lay person? Well, it is out of the question. Because all of us at the beginning are lay persons. Even priests are lay people once in their life. We were just brought out from the laity to be formed, to be educated, and then will be brought back in order to serve the faithful. So it is out of the question. Anyway, this year, next slide, the CBCP, Catholic Bishops' Conference of the Philippines, declared 2014 as the year of the laity to emphasize the role played by the Catholic faithful in the sanctification and transformation of the world. You know, this year of the laity is part of the 9-year program of the CBCP in preparation for our 500-year celebration as Catholic country. Kailan ba dumating ang Catholicism sa Pilipinas? 1521. Magellan. Pero in 2021, we'll be celebrating our 500 years. So, as part of the 9-year program, kumbaga sa fiesta may novenario, 9 days, dahil ito ay malaking pagdiriwang, hindi lang 9 days, 9 years. So it began last year, Year of the Faith. Today, Year of the Laity. And next year will be Year of the Poor. So this 2015 will be the Year of the Poor. So this will be our preparation for the coming celebration of our 500 year. And we emphasize your role as the one sanctifying and transforming the world. Sabi nung ilan, bakit ba kayong mga pare pasa sa mga laiko sa pagpapanibago at pagpapabanal ng mundo? Hindi ba trabaho niyo yan? Pero I throw back the question to all of you lay persons. Ilan ba kayo kumpara sa amin? In fact, priests, bishops are endangered species. Totoo yun, konti lang po talaga kami. At yung konti na yan, nababawasan pa ho. Kaya nga, if we will be speaking about transformation and sanctification, it will really be the primary role of the lay persons, given that you are the majority of the church. Secondly, who is the one taking good care of the family? Is it the priest? Is it the nun? No. It's the lay people. You. Kaya nga kayo, marriage encounter. And we know that the family is the basic unit of the society. It is the domestic church. So if you like to transform society, you have to begin from down, below. And that is the family. And who is in charge of the family? The lady. Kaya nga po, indeed, it is your role to sanctify and transform the world. Next slide. What do we celebrate? It is a celebration of every faithful's baptism and confirmation. And we call that as common priesthood. In contrast to royal priesthood. Later, I will discuss the details in the following slides. This is only an introduction. Number 2, what is the reason? To empower the laity by activating their charisms of the Spirit. That was specified by the letter of the CBCP when they declared this year as the year of the laity. Para daw ma-reactivate yung charisma o kontribusyon ng bawat laiko sa ating bansa. And lastly, of course, to renew their task of social transformation by being co-responsible agents of evangelization and stewards of creation. So these three is not from me or not from me, but from the letter of the CBCP. So I'm just trying to set the objectives why we celebrate the year of the laity. Now allow me to go deeper to this reflection about the year of the laity. And we begin from the document of Vatican II, next slide, entitled Apostolicam Auctositatem, translated as the Apostolic Authority. It is the Second Vatican Council's decree on the Apostolate of the Laity that was published on November 18, 1965. Sino bang pinanganak na ng 1965? Huwag na magsinungaling. Halata. It defines the mission of the lay Christian, faithful to both, lead non-believers to the faith, to instruct, strengthen, and encourage the faithful to a more fervent life. So as early as Vatican II, the beginnings of Vatican II, it was already emphasized that you as a lay person has a primary duty or role in the church, especially in its evangelization. Bakit? Tandaan nyo kasi nung Vatican I, the church is so clerical. What do you mean by clerical? When you say a church, it's about priests, bishops, and the Pope. And the lay persons are always passive members. Kaya nga palaglisa yung pare, bago mag-Vatican II, dun lang kayo, no? Malayo. Sa sanctuary yung pare, siya lang nakakaintindi ng Latin, siya lang nakakaintindi ng dasal. Walang active participation ang laiko. But because of Vatican II, every lay member of the church has now an active role, full, active, and conscious participation. Kaya nga ito ho yung binibigyan din sa dokumentong ito. Next slide. Sabi dito sa number 2, paragraph number 2, in the church, there is diversity of ministry, but unity of mission. Totoo yan. To the apostles and their successors, Christ has entrusted the office of teaching, sanctifying, and governing in His name and by His power. But the laity are made to share in the priestly, prophetical, and kingly office of Christ. They have therefore in the church and in the world their own assignment in the mission of the whole people of God. We may be coming from different walks of life. Ako'y pare, siguro iba dito, attorney, businessman, manager, doctor, tambay, addict. We came from different walks of life, but though we are diverse, though we are different, we are united in one mission. And that is the mission of Jesus. Yan yung pinapaliwanag sa paragraph number 2. Kaya nga po, itong foundations of the lay apostolate can be classified into 4. So I will be sounding like doctrine, dogmatic here. But at the latter part, let us be more practical. But let us understand first the foundations of your lay apostolate. Of course, etymological, that is the root word. Ecclesiological, what is ecclesiological? It came from the Greek word ecclesia, church, iglesia. Pneumatological, what is pneumatological? When you say pneumo, pag kay doktor, pneuma, diba, it's about breath. So the spirit. And of course, sacramental foundation. So let's see the etymological foundation. You know the word laity, next slide, derives from the Greek word laos, which means people. Yan po yung pinanggalingan ng salitang laity. Sa Griego, laos. Ibig sabihin, sambayanan. And lay does not mean profane. Hindi makamundo. It has none of the undertones associated with the European term laicism or the English word secularism, both of which imply a positive exclusion of God and religion from public life. Next slide. The layman, therefore, is essentially a member of a chosen race, a member of the plebs sancta. So, as I told you, I am a Latin professor, so I will be teaching you Latin. What do you mean by plebs? Plebiscite, people. And sancta, holy. So you are part of the holy people. The layman is a member of the people of God, is baptized and confirmed, is the recipient of charisms, is Christ visible in the world, and differs in function from the cleric, in state of life from the religious. So if you will look at the definition of the Catechism, you are a member of the people of God, you are a recipient of God's gift, and you are not a priest or a nun. So those are the 3 distinguishing features of a lay person based on etymology. Now let's go to the ecclesiological foundation. When you say ecclesiological foundation, it is based on the church. And you know there are 2 aspects of the church. The first one is church from above. So if there is a church from above, what is the second one? Church from below. So that's the fact. And what is the church from above? That refers to the institutional church. It refers to the hierarchical side according to which the church has a certain structure and exists prior to her members. You know, this was the emphasis of pre-Vatican II, the institutional church. Kaya nga hierarchy. Oh, you are only a lay person. I am a deacon, I am a priest, I am a bishop, I am a cardinal, I am the pope. So there is a hierarchy. It's all about authority and office. But you know, let us not neglect that there is a second aspect of the church, which is very Vatican II. And what is that? Church from below. And what is the church from below? You and I, the people of God. And this people of God is what made up the members of the church who contribute to her development and being. Kaya nga po, this ecclesiological foundation of the lay apostolate is understood in the church from below. That without you, there is no church. Do you believe that? Yes. Without the lay people, without the laity, there is no church. Why? Because the priests and the bishops and the pope came also from the laity. Ako rin naging laiko bago ako naordinahan. So kung walang laiko, walang institution, walang church from above. So it is the basic composition of the church. And we recognize the important contribution of the lay in terms of membership and leadership. Kaya nga dito, next slide, there is of course no conflict between these two aspects. The church is at once a community and an institution, a structured society and a life. But too much emphasis on either part produces only a caricature of the church. Kaya nga kanwari, masyado mong in-emphasize yung church from above, anong mangyayari? Clericalism. Para tayong bumalik sa Middle Ages. No? Mapupunta kayo sa impyerno, masusunog kayong lahat. No? Na parang it's all about the priest, the pope, and the bishop. No? O kaya kapag masyado din namang in-emphasize, no, lay power, no, lay empowerment, people power. You can result to laicizism. At anong mga magiging resulta? You become Protestants, you become evangelicals, no? You build your own church. So it is a constant and harmonious balance between the two. Next slide. These two aspects of the church are united in the concept of the mystical body. Christ the head passes on His power and life to His body, the church. Like a body, the church has life and structure, each part fulfilling its function for the good of the whole. Jesus is the head and we are the body. And if we do not fulfill our function, the whole system is affected. So that's how interrelated the membership of the church with the headship of Jesus in the Catholic Church. Yan yung ecclesiological foundation. And next is pneumatological foundation. Next slide. And as I said, pneuma means spirit, breath. The spirit breathes where He wills. He rages throughout the entire Societas Fidelium, or the Society of the Faithful. Charism, gifts of the Holy Spirit. Alam niyo po, ang bawat laiko ay ginawaran ng kani-kanilang karisma. Tanungin mo nga yung katabi mo, anong karisma mo? All of us have our own gifts. And by pneumatological foundation, every laity has that mission to develop, hope, and share that gift. Kaya nga kung ikaw'y magaling sa music, you belong to the music ministry. Kaya nga kung hindi ka marunong kumanta, bakit mo pinagpipilitan sarili mo sa music ministry? Doon ka na sa lector commentator. Kasi kanya-kanya tayo ng gifts. Kaya nga ang bawat laiko may mission. Kasi meron ka rin regalo. At ito yung tandaan nyo, next slide. Clergy has no monopoly of gifts. Alam niyo ako, I was once assigned in Immaculate Conception, Tayuman Tondo. And as a young priest then, some people there thought that a priest knows everything. Kaya minsan may lalapit sa akin, Father, sakit ng ulo ko. Sakit siya, ano bang inumin kong gamot? Hindi po ako doktor. Kaya yung isa, Father, may problema ko sa barangay namin eh. Yung chairman namin, nakikipag-away ko sa mga kagawad nila. Di na natutugunan yung aming mga feeding program, yung aming mga, ano kami, social worker. So, they thought a priest knows everything. But I tell you, humbly, we do not. We do not have the monopoly of gifts. Maybe in terms of philosophy, theology, we can help you, for reflection. But in terms of other things, you are experts, more than experts than us. Kaya nga when I was assigned by the cardinal in the schools, the first thing I said, Your Eminence, I'm too young. But the Eminence said, it's a good training. Anyway, sa bandang huli, sabi ko na lang, a lay person can do better than me as a manager.